Here with head coach Anna Nimz as the Demons wrap up this little 3-game road trip and then return home. One of these split weekends that the conference so graciously afforded us this year. But before we talk about the game on Thursday against Stephen F., um, Saturday against UIW, I think we can all agree. Anybody that watched the game, not our best performance from start to finish. Had some moments in there that were good, but I think you said it could be and maybe hopefully will be a sort of wake up call.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit in a previous interview, like every game this season in the Southland, you got to show up and play 40 minutes, and maybe as we close in on the midway point of the conference schedule, a good time to get maybe a bit of a wake up call, especially considering who we play on Thursday.
Absolutely. I think what's remarkable, I think every coach probably thinks their season is the hardest or their conference is the toughest, but our top 8 teams have all winning records and everything's one big logjam. And so, yeah, I'd rather get slapped in the face, and we absolutely did. I'd rather get slapped in the face now when you have time to learn and grow instead of it being down at the stretch when that game could be the determining factor of your placement in the Southland Conference tournament. And so that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting to make it to the Southland Conference tournament. We're fighting to have a good position in the Southland Conference tournament. And maybe that was the slap in the face that we absolutely needed. I think there may have been a little bit of complacency. We're able to have a really good practice yesterday, a pretty tough practice, but we've got to drive home the discipline in which we instill daily. We've got to really see that. It can't just be about trying to outscore an opponent. It's got to be the defense that we instill daily. It's got to be about the process. It's got to be about our defense, and get back to the defending and rebounding that drove success in the first place. And so, no credit to UIW, but they wanted it more. They played harder. That was just a poor game by us, but it was something we were able to watch. And like I mentioned to you earlier, better now than later. And now it's about us learning from it. And it's okay to lose as long as you learn. And so that's what we're trying to do. And going into Tuesday and Wednesday's practice to prepare, obviously, for a very good and always good SFA team. That's going to be the next thing we have in mind.
Yeah, a team that this is, I believe, the first repeat opponent of the conference schedule.
Yes.
On Thursday against Stephen F.
Although we still haven't played 2 other teams at all.
That's right. Well, again, thanks to never mind. But yeah, it's like to say that first opportunity to take what we obviously want to do better from Saturday and that first game. But unfortunately, it seems like Stephen F. is just keep continuing to get better since that first time we saw
them. They absolutely have, and they're going to. Coach A and I were just kind of going through, and it's just the difference of when you're looking at those top few programs, it's the ability to carry over kids year after year after year, and so you're playing true programs. And just in the way that we've had to recruit and have gone about it, we're every year it's something new, and so they have that ability to maybe grow a little quicker while we're still working out kinks here and there and growing together as a team. But I think that's what's tough about those their top handful of programs. It's just they truly are programs and kids that have grown together, and so the kinks they're working out are vastly different than maybe the kinks we're trying to work out, just because it's still first year playing together. But that's what it is, and we're good with that. We just have to learn and grow from the game before. We gave up 20 points in transition, knowing that they are in the top 6, top 10 in pace of play in the nation. And, it was just committing to get back to what we really talk about, what we really drill, what we really work on. It absolutely has to come through in the game. And we were able to see it. And again, it's about growing and learning. And again, as long as you are learning from the loss and learning from things that need corrected, then we have an opportunity to be great, because we do have a special team. We have a special program right now that I think has been built over the course of time. And we're excited about where we are. Obviously, we've dropped games that we are upset with, but it's just part of the process, and we have to stay true to that as well.
So since the last time we saw Stephen F., what do you see? I mean, when you look at them, even just strictly by the numbers, I mean, there's not a lot of weaknesses that you can kind of see. They do a lot of things, most things very well.
Yeah. I think for them, there's not a lot of different things you can throw at them, in the sense of a junk defense or there's too many players. Junk defenses are meant to maybe slow down somebody in the post, or slow down one really good point guard, or to slow down a forward. They're very good. They're just a collective. They're 8 kids that they play. There's no drop off from the starting 5 to the next 3. There's 0 drop off. They play really well together. They play very fast in transition. Every single one of them has the green light to shoot the ball. So it's about being incredibly efficient, slowing down players when we have the opportunity. We gave up way too many 94-foot layups. We just didn't slow down the ball and possess it early enough. So it's not so much about them in the sense that taking one individual away, because then it just means somebody else is going to be there. They're just a very good unit. But it's about doing us much better. And I believe in what we do, and I believe in our girls. So if we can lock down what we do better, I think that causes issues regardless of how good you are.
Yeah, I think if I remember back to that post game, those were the first things that I think Naya and V had to say is like, we didn't play the way we need to, or the way we wanted to, and it's an easy thing to say, hey, this is what we know we didn't do, and this is what we can take into Thursday.
Yeah, we had 20 second chance points. We had 19, attempts at the free throw line, but they had 32 attempts. They had 32 attempts at the free throw line, and they had 42 points in the paint, and they had 20 points in transition. And we just gave up way too many little mid-range games or 2-3 foot shots. But we were able to see it, but yeah, it's more about us doing us better, and not so much focusing on what they run. It's a very simple action. But at the end of the day, if we do us better, I believe in what we do, like I said, and I believe in this group. And so it's going to be the tougher team's going to win.
Usually is.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Welcome.